Camry. For the new norm, whatever that is, lease a new 2021 Toyota Camry LE for $229 a month for 36 months. Toyota, let's go places.
You want local news that impacts you?
We got you covered.
We're on your side.
Help us fight for life and train the CSRA. Contact the American Heart Association for details.
Follow News 1226 on Instagram to see what's trending in your area.
On your side, this is News 12 First at 5.
Twitter suspensions, apps booted off, First Amendment rights coming into sharp focus, what local experts say the law actually protects you from.
But COVID cases rising across the country and especially here at home. The numbers put Georgia and South Carolina in the top 15 states for cases. Meanwhile, the vaccine rollout keeps on moving.
Right. Today, Georgia moving into phase 1A plus, which includes healthcare workers, first responders, and people 65 and older. But as Will Rio explains, the process is running into some roadblocks.
As we move into the next phase of the COVID vaccine distribution, there's been some concern that hospitals aren't getting the vaccine out quick enough. We spoke to local health officials about what the holdup is in getting people the vaccine. Aiken Regional Medical Center is one of several local hospitals working to get the COVID vaccine out of their freezers and into the public's arms. But there's been some delays. State Senator Tom Young has been in close contact with both DHEC and Aiken Regional. He says they don't have enough cold storage for the vaccine. And on top of that, they don't have enough staff on hand to vaccinate a large group of people. Other major hospital systems like Prisma and MUSC say they aren't having these same problems and are ready to move on to phase 1B. In Georgia, AU Health says they are currently in closed pod distribution, which means they can only vaccinate people in their health system. They say they have not been approved to be in open pod distribution, and they have no guidance for when they might receive additional vaccines. AU says this makes planning for opening vaccines up to a larger group of people very difficult.
We would love to do more, but some of this red tape and bureaucracy has to go down a way, not because anyone wants it to, but just because there are a lot of difficulties with deploying this vaccine.
Coming up at 6 o'clock, we break down how you can find out how and when you can get the COVID vaccine on both sides of the river. In Augusta, Will Rio on your side.
Thanks, Will. A lot of people wondering about that. Still, the issue is bigger than supply. Black and brown communities have reservations when it comes to getting the vaccine. The history of medical testing on minorities in the United States is still having an impact decades later, something experts say we must focus on to help a population that's disproportionately affected.
What I'm concerned about is that there's still a population of folk that are super anxious about this vaccine, and most likely that's the population that needs it the most.
I understand fully where those reservations come from. I understand the history. I understand where it's coming from. But I still had to do what was best for me, my family, and those that I serve.
First to 5, South Carolina DHEC announcing adults 70 and older can schedule appointments to get the vaccine in just 2 days. Almost 628,000 people are in this age group. For elderly, not using the internet, phone calls and postcards will be going out to help you connect. So far, more than 105,000 South Carolinians have gotten the vaccine. Anyone in phase 1A should go ahead and get the shot before Wednesday, when the plan becomes open for the 70 and up population. More than 2,600 new cases and 35 deaths reported in South Carolina today. DHEC says every county in the state now has a high rate of cases right now, with at least 200 cases per 100,000 people. In the last couple of weeks, Aiken County has seen more than 1,100 cases. Edgefield, a much smaller county, has had 190 cases in the last couple of weeks. And since March, 170 people have died from COVID in the two counties combined.
In Georgia, more than 6,000 new cases reported today. That makes for 7 straight days of more than 5,000 cases a day. Today, Columbia County is reporting 91 new cases. Richmond County, 190.
Live look now at Whiskey Road in Aiken as we check in with Chief Meteorologist Riley Hale. And Riley, I guess if you haven't had a shower yet, stand by. You're going to get one soon.
Exactly right, Richard. Not any raindrops on the lens there in Aiken off Whiskey Road, but we are anticipating those rain showers to start for them within the next 30, 45 minutes. most likely. Most of this rain is now hanging on our Georgia side of the Savannah River, but going to be pushing towards our South Carolina counties, and some of them already dealing with some light showers out there. But this is round two, so you've likely already seen at least a light shower pass on by your community today. We have more anticipated through this evening and tonight. Most of these are moving from the southwest towards the northeast, and they're not too heavy. This is going to be light showers, but it is going to be a cold rain. Most of us sitting close to 50 degrees this afternoon, and those temps going to be dropping into the mid to low 40s by the time we get through the overnight and even the first part of your Tuesday. Can't rule out a few light showers lingering around. So as far as the rain totals go, looks to be between a quarter to around a half inch across most of our areas. And it is a cold rain. Most of us in the northern CS area up towards the lake sitting in the mid to upper 40s. We're currently down to 49 out of Bushfield here in Augusta. The further south you go is when you're going to find those slightly warmer temps in the mid to low 50s. So the rain chances are very likely across most of the region through this evening and tonight as this area of low pressure tracks on through. But by Tuesday afternoon, we should start to see that sun again. Have a look at a better outlook later in the week in just a little bit.
All right, thank you, Riley. First at 5, we are learning a suspect in a fatal shooting turned himself into the Aiken County Detention Center just before 4 o'clock today. Aiken County officials say 28-year-old Dominique Bush is currently booked. He is charged with murder in the slaying of 31-year-old Demetrius Williams. That shooting happened Friday in Warrenville. Now, we don't have his new booking photo just yet, but this is the photo officials released when they were looking for him. Williams, the man killed Friday, was a suspect in the murder of a 12-year-old Aiken boy, Edward McKenzie Jr., back in October. Officials are still looking for a second suspect in Williams' death.
Richmond County deputies are searching for this man in connection to an assault that left the man dead. Deputies say William Redd is only wanted for questioning at this point. With the victim in this case, Franklin Jones, was found at the Budgetall Inn on Gordon Highway Saturday. He later died at AU Health. He was 65. Investigators believe he was assaulted before he got to that hotel. SLED now investigating an officer-involved shooting in Aiken County. Deputies say they responded to calls of a man with a knife threatening to attack people in a trailer park on Joes Park Road in Warrenville. Deputies say when they got there, 45-year-old Darrell Dye ran toward them with a knife, and that's when they shot Dye. Dye lived on the road where this happened, and he died on the scene. First Amendment rights are in the spotlight after though by Friday.
The pandemic, it is taking a toll on all of us, but how are students coping? How students can find their way out of the mental fog. Next.
A murder, that's all. Call 1-800-CALL-KEN.
Students at the college level are facing rigorous coursework, even without the traditional teaching methods.
Yeah, a big part of the college experience is hands-on learning and the campus involvement. But students are also facing higher levels of depression and anxiety.
But therapists have some answers on how they can protect their mental health through the pandemic. Jillian Angeline reports.
Haley Cange is a senior at DePaul University studying global health. Unlike her first 3 years, her college experience now looks a little different.
Now more than ever, I've lacked motivation.
Every day last semester, she sat in front of her laptop for hours, interacting with her professors and peers over Zoom.
For me, I didn't feel like myself as a student most of the time.
During the fall semester, DePaul University juniors and seniors took courses online, while the underclassmen returned to campus.
Colleges across the country are offering online classes as a way of keeping students safe during the pandemic. Kevin Kruger, president of the Student Affairs Association, says while online learning is not a new concept, experiencing it now raises psychological concerns.
The pandemic has amplified and increased those mental health issues.
A recent study conducted by the association found that 1 in 5 students report they are constantly anxious about the pandemic. They are also spending less time sleeping and exercising compared to the spring. Carolyn Berger from the University of Minnesota says online learning may be socially draining to some because they are no longer able to interact in person with their classmates.
They're not just whining. It really truly is extremely isolating for them.
Berger says students can help themselves by establishing a daily routine. Something as simple as setting an alarm and getting up at the same time each day can help combat the psychological effects of remote learning. With 2 COVID vaccines already rolled out and others in the pipeline, universities are hoping campuses can return to some type of normalcy soon.
Another group of students hit hard by the pandemic, young learners. In South Carolina, Governor McMaster has approved $5 million in funding, more funding for the expansion of 4K First Steps learning. New data shows more than 60% of 4-year-olds in South Carolina are eligible for free full-day 4K. First Steps 4K is serving 39 of 46 counties with more than 200 facilities across the state. For the first time ever, the program is actively recruiting young learners.
It's one thing to go to work and know that you have someone to watch your children while you're at work, which is good, but it's also another thing to know that you have them there where they're safe, where they're getting the learning tools that they need.
When kids start school not ready, they stay behind throughout their school and unfortunately life career.
To see more about eligibility in your area, head over to our website to find the link for that program.
All right, now taking you out to the West Coast. Bear Valley Bald Eagle Camp. How about that? Still sitting on the nest. And yeah, we're a long ways from Grovetown there, but this is from our friends of Big Bear Valley, and they are seeing a beautiful afternoon over there. Sunny skies on the West Coast, but a different story for us. We have been battling cloudy skies, showers, and fairly chilly temperatures as well. Most of us now dipping into the 40s. It is all thanks to this area of low pressure that's going to track through tonight and not be completely out of here until we get to around midday Tuesday. Not anything too threatening. This is just light rain that's going to be moving through this evening, tonight, and possibly even for the first part of our Tuesday morning. But here's a current look at Doppler Max radar. Starting to see just isolated showers in our South Carolina counties, but turning more widespread on the Georgia side of the river, and that is expected to cross the river here very shortly. So if you're not seeing rain currently, you do have a very high chance of seeing it very shortly. And this is going to be the trend through this evening and tonight, just on and off light showers continuing across the region. Even into early Tuesday morning, can't rule out some patchy mist and maybe even some sprinkles lingering around for your early morning commute on Tuesday. But later into the afternoon, we should actually start to see a few peaks of sun. That'll heat us up into the mid to low 50s across the region, but not expected to be completely sunny through Wednesday afternoon. Now, Wednesday morning, we're likely going to wake up a little bit on the cooler side, mid to low 30s, a few spots up north likely hitting freezing. As we head throughout the day Wednesday, expected to stay dry, but that cloud cover will come back later into the afternoon. And this particular model bringing us up into the 60s on Wednesday, but that will be highly dependent on how much cloud cover we see throughout the day on Wednesday. Now, as far as how much rain we could see tonight and for the first part of your Tuesday, looks like most of us will fall within this range of around a quarter to a half inch. Not expecting all too much. And once again, no threat for flooding or severe weather with the rain moving through tonight and Tuesday. So the rain chance for your Tuesday, that's mainly right around sunrise. Most of the day Tuesday will be dry for us, but just can't rule out some of those showers lingering around for your morning commute. Our current temps ranging anywhere from the mid-40s in the northern CSRA to the mid-50s further south. So a pretty decent temperature spread, but most of us are expected to be dropping down close to 40 by early tomorrow morning, and great sleeping weather tonight. Just on and off showers expected all the way to tomorrow morning. Now, the next several days expected to be mostly dry, minus a few early morning showers on Tuesday. Past that, it looks like our next chance for rain moves in by Friday.
All right, thanks, Riley. We are just 2 weeks into the new year, and while some of us have held on to our 2021 fitness goals, a lot of us have already faced some roadblocks. While diet and exercise both matter, experts say no amount of exercise can overcome a bad diet. Calorie counting and fad diets, they can also slow down your progress. Experts say 3/4 of your plate should be veggies, fruits, and whole grains. Not getting these vitamins and minerals, that can affect your mental health. The last fourth should be healthy proteins.
You can't outrun your diet, meaning exercise, unless you're exercising at the level of an Olympian, shall we say, exercise in and of itself won't allow you to lose enough weight. Now, what exercise will do is certainly give you cardiovascular health, and it has been proven to help maintain that weight loss.
Yeah, but listen to this, Richard, and this hurts to say. You have to avoid bacon. Experts say it's just not good for you. Cold cuts and red meat. They say those are probably a good thing to avoid.
Some people say if you give up all the things that you live for, then it's not worth really living for anymore, is it?
Right.
So which way are you going to go? I mean, the doctor just said, eat right and exercise. So basically our moms were right all those years ago.
Yes, I know, and we all want a quick fix. The thing is, it's not quick, if it's going to, in fact, be a fix.
It does take some time. Don't give up on your New Year's resolution yet either. It's just January.
Yeah, my mom said, though, if it were easy, everyone would be skinny and fit.
Mom again.
Yep.
Mom knowledge right there. Okay, nobody should let anything stand in the way of love. Not money, not circumstances. And coming up here, how the community stepped up in a big way to help a homeless couple have their wedding day of a lifetime.
On for almost 20 years. Seems longer, doesn't it?
My mom can help, and from UGA.
My mom too.
Blaze McElroy Recruiter and Kitchens. Our family helping yours.
If you've been hurt in a car wreck, what are you waiting for?
Call George Sink Injury Lawyers at all nines now.
The sooner you call, the sooner they can help.
George Sink Injury Lawyers has the experience to help you get your money fast. If you've been hurt in a car wreck, call all nines.
A homeless North Carolina couple planned on a simple wedding because they were unable to afford anything else.
But with the kindness of strangers, they celebrated in a much bigger way. Anthony Costura shows us the memorable start to this new life together.
With a glimmer in their eyes, this Charlotte couple danced their way into 2021 with a new marriage and a new perspective.
We said we were going to set it up for the 31st. So that way, remember our wedding day.
Capone Williams and his new bride Kelly have been together for about a year. What a year it's been. You might not know it, but they live here in these tents just north of Uptown.
We was planning on getting married at the courthouse.
With no income, the two planned on a simple wedding, but when volunteers started working on outreach efforts, everything changed.
They're two of the first people that we met when we started doing this outreach.
Bethany McDonald heads up the Hearts Beat as One Foundation, which provides items like tents and first aid kits for people who live here. McDonald and several others put a plea for help on social media.
People just jumped on it. There are people that help donate, a wedding dress and wedding rings and a cake and photography and all of those things.
They gave away countless items from food to makeup and even masks. Anything that would help make this day a memorable one. And these photos are proof. Kelly and Capone had the wedding of their dreams thanks to immeasurable kindness. Nona Brewing here along North Tryon even donated their tap room to hold the event. It's a kindness the newlyweds are still raving about.
The whole wedding was amazing. It was really beautiful.
The glow on her face. And she was happy. And I was happy.
Now, with a fresh outlook and 2020 behind them, they're hopeful for the future and a new beginning.
Get back on track, as far as work and stuff like that.
Gives me a lot of hope. Because I know you can overcome anything, so.
And that is worth a toast.
Very sweet. And just pulling off a wedding during a pandemic, that is quite a milestone.
It absolutely is. And think about it, too. Over the last couple of days, there's been a lot of hate on social media. How great is it that social media was used for something so good and getting members of the community to help? Speaking of the community helping, an anonymous donor also booked them a room in Charlotte for several days so they could spend their wedding week away from the encampment and start a new life together in style.
That is great to see, and we'll be right back.
If you're age 50 or older, letters.com.
Well, if you're stepping out this evening, definitely have the umbrella ready to go because widespread rain this evening and tonight, looking better over the next several days. Stick with us, much more news and weather just after a short break. And join us on News 12.